folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop me a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, this week we're on issue 46 of Stormbringer magazine, and we do get a mini. We get the Sylvaneth Branch Witch. It's obviously a single smaller mini, however a very good one. Genuinely a pretty cool mini. There are a few thin spindly bits, so be careful when clipping this off the sprue, because they can be a bit fragile at times, but a really cool mini. I genuinely have wanted one of these for a while and been tempted to buy one ever since really I saw the Sylvaneth, and just never got around to it, so I'm really glad we finally have one. So really cool stuff, and genuinely one of the more interesting ones that I can go painting as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, going into this week's issue, first off we are greeted by the Nighthaunt. So Nighthaunt are disembodied ghosts of dead criminals and wrongdoers. They have been cursed by Nagash to live out an eternity of punishment. All sense of kindness and mercy has been stripped from their beings, and they are driven by their jealousy and hatred of the living. The very name of the Nighthaunt strikes terror into the hearts of many across the mortal realms. It is well known that Nighthaunt can strike at any time, passing through walls and barriers without slowing to mercilessly kill all within. So, the Nighthaunt, if you're not familiar with them, are the spiritual army of Nagash. So Nagash utilises zombies, skeletons and ghosts, along with vampires and crypt ghouls, and the Nighthaunt are probably one of the coolest. So they are really awesome to look at. You can get some really awesome paint jobs on them. If you collected Mortal Realms magazine, obviously you would have had an absolute shed load of Nighthaunt in that magazine anyway, so if you've not caught up with it, obviously there are a lot to get on with, but there are some really cool kits, and they're really good fun. So a little bit spindly at times, so they are quite fragile, but one of the nicest looking armies of death that you can get. So really cool stuff there. Onto the other page, obviously we do get a bit more information. So we get Lady Alinda. So Lady Alinda is a terrifying spirit who is surrounded by an aura of utter despair. She was chosen by Nagash to be one of his Mortarch lieutenants and to lead the Nighthaunt in battle, and she now seeks to overwhelm the living with her spectral hordes. So Lady Alinda, one of the bigger good old Nighthaunt minis, really cool one as well, with two handmaidens. She is pretty damn awesome. One of the nicest looking Nighthaunt minis that you can get hold of. Genuinely, if you are going to collect Nighthaunt, you need Lady Alinda, because a fantastic kit. So really good stuff there. Eternal Torment. Many of the Nighthaunt endure punishments that have some connection to their evil deeds. Those who died while in prison now exist as chain ghasts and are bound by spectral chains that they use as weapons. Those who lived in webs of intrigue, scheming and plotting are now cursed to kill indiscriminately and take form of Grimghast Reapers. As such is Nagash's twisted sense of judgment, and the Nighthaunt can pop up anywhere. So the Emerald Host is the personal procession of Lady Alinda, existing to enact retribution on her enemies who have been marked with the Emerald Curse. So pretty damn cool stuff, and obviously you can do Nighthaunt in many different ways. There are some fantastic kits and fantastic ways of painting them. So if you're going to go down the spectral route, worth checking out a few images. Then moving on, we move on to the realm of metal, of science and sorcery. So in Shaman, science and sorcery sit side by side. Constant alchemical changes in the realm produce an abundance of magical power, while the lands are rich with minerals, metals and reagents essential for technology. Many wars are waged over the power and resources of the realm. So in Shaman, titanic power is unleashed as land changes and moves, and armies come from throughout the realms to harness this power for their own purposes. Oryx are naturally drawn to the great upheaval as mountains are raised up in destructive blasts or crumble downward as they transmute into flaking rust. where Oryx and Grots gather, shamans harness the power of the War for their own magic. The followers of Tzeentch revel in the transmuting qualities of the realm, and the god of change himself covets Shaman above all other realms, and the Kharadron harvest ether gold from the air above the realm of metal to power their sky vessels. So, 3 different factions that regularly compete in Shaman, and there are obviously going to be a few more in there as well. All have their own purposes and needs for the realm and uses for what's available. You do get a bit more information on the other side, including the Coastal Shard Fortress, Cold Iron Anvil, and many, many more. And the fact that the skies are essentially cursed with demons coming along and destroying bunches of realm gates and much, much more is what it is. But really quite interesting information and lore about the realm of Shaman. Then we move forward, we've got stories. So we've got Nature's Gambit. So the Sylvaneth are sworn to protect the natural world, which they value above individual lives. They do not hesitate to take brutal retribution on those who defile their lands or upset the natural order. As the threat of the Gloomspite Gits grows, a unit of tree revenants find itself caught up in a ferocious war against a united enemy. So, pretty cool stuff. Obviously, all the stories are actually worth reading, but some of them are really, really good. Gives you an idea of what each army and why certain good old factions fight the way they do and react the way they do, and also how they actually battle, which is pretty cool for a bit of the old canon and canonical ideas. Then you got your Branch Witch sheet. So the Branch Witches are potent mages and commanders. They are charged with guarding the sacred soulpod groves in their home glade. In battle, they fight alongside troops of their household and bear the solemn duty of harvesting the lamentary of those Sylvaneth who fall. So the lamentary are vessels that contain the souls of the Sylvaneth. Many Sylvaneth beings have a lamentary set within their bark flesh. It contains their forebearers' memory and absorbs the living Sylvaneth's own knowledge and experience. So that gives you a bit of an explanation of what a lamentary is. The lamentary is also then utilised inside the soul pod groves, where they can kind of be reborn at some point later on, and much, much more. But yeah, really cool stuff, and a good bit of information about how Sylvaneth work in the mortal realms. You will also get the usual stuff, so you get to name the character and set their traits and attributes as well. Pretty good. Then we move on, we've got our build guide. Obviously there are quite a few small parts to this one, and it is quite dainty and fragile, so be careful with it. Take your time with it, make sure you get in each bit smooth and you dry fit everything, so you can actually get the glue in the right places and get it built up in a very nice, neat way, and without making any mistakes. So, pretty cool. When it's all done though, it will look something like that, which is always really, really good. And then we move on, we have our paint guide. So the paint guide is actually fairly decent. So using Catachan flesh as your bark and Auric flesh for greenery. Following the guide is pretty decent. It's not a bad guide. There are a few tweaks personally I would make to the paint scheme to make it flow a little bit better. But generally, it's pretty decent. So it's definitely worth a shot. If you've never painted good old Sylvaneth before, it does work fairly well. There are ways of getting it better though. But yeah, have a bit of fun with it, bit of an experiment with it. If you're not too sure, if you've painted up all your other Sylvaneth, follow a very similar guide to how you've painted them before. Obviously, not all trees are just brown. You can utilise other colours with them. Personally, you know, bit of silver butt, kind of like that grey birch type of colour. Light browns and such like work wonders for it, so you can get some really, really good colouring on there. Entirely up to you though. Have a bit of fun with it and enjoy your painting, which is my main tip. But if you do make a mistake, obviously you can strip paint back if you want to. Most people get like a cup filled with, in all honesty, Dettol. Will smell a bit, might have a bit of an odour, and put your mini in there. Leave it for quite a while. Eventually the paint will come off, but you can do that, and there's other tips as well that you can find online, so have at it. Then we've got our War Scroll page for the Branch Witch as well, so obviously you can utilise that for all your games. So obviously they have a 7-inch move, they have Bravery of 7, 5+ save and 5 wounds as well, so they are a bit tougher because they are classed as a bit of a hero and also a wizard, so they do have their own wizard abilities. And you can also utilise their tutorial page on here as well to learn how to play them, so really good fun. Then you got your Realm Scout Glade for the Strange Glade. Obviously this is for your battle for this week, so utilising your options, whether you take in 5 Vindicators or Vigilors in, 3 Revenants, whichever you want. You can have a bit of fun with it, but really good stuff. And it's all about controlling that kind of having that destruction coming in from both sides works very well with this one, and defending that territory in the middle, and obviously you get to use a bit of that as well with the objectives. Really good fun. On the last page you do get some tutorial bits as well, so playthrough highlights, which is how they've played through with a couple of their staff, and how it all worked out. But really good stuff, and quite interesting as well to read how that goes about it. And then finally next week we do get another bit of scenery. We get the Nexus Siphon, which is a pretty decent important bit of the new kind of Cities of Sigmar Azurite structures in terms of lore and stuff like that. And then in issue 48 we do get the Boingrot Bounders as well. So these are squigs with rots riding them, which is nifty and quite funny and cool, and I genuinely like them. I think they're pretty damn interesting, and yeah, really good stuff. But that's it from me, so thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already checked it out though, by all means, there is a bit of Warhammer news, which the links will be both at the end of this video on the end card. By all means check them out. There's one regarding Partworks magazines and one regarding the old world and the fact that we will be returning to it soon, which I am excited for. Really good stuff. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye bye now.